Hi, ArcfieldWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on midday Monday, May the 12th. We have a lot of moisture, tropical moisture flowing up along the Atlantic seaboard today. We talked last week about a chipping away at the very dry conditions across much of the eastern U.S., and we're alleviating those drought conditions with this ongoing wetter weather pattern here. It looks like we have another extended period of rainfall coming to the mid-Atlantic region for that Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday time frame. Once that system, that very slow-moving upper-level system, exits during the late week, we have another system that will push a couple of frontal systems our way from later Friday into Saturday for the Mid-Atlantic region, and that will just renew the shower threat from later Friday into Saturday, and that particular system could cause some severe weather as well in the Mid-Atlantic region, again, late week, early part of the upcoming weekend. What we're looking at here to start off this video discussion is the flow in the upper part of the atmosphere with respect to the water vapor. This is a channel on the GOES satellite that shows the upper level water vapor field really in white and blue. Right in here you can see this tropical moisture. Here is Cuba down here, Florida over here, and we have tropical moisture flowing really from the southeastern Gulf, the Caribbean Sea, all the way up across the Florida Peninsula and up along the Atlantic seaboard. Again, this is the upper part of the atmosphere. We'll see in a moment the lower part of the atmosphere, and then we'll take a look at the radar. A lot of rain falling underneath this pattern here. Again, this is a plume of tropical moisture really traveling over 1,000 miles all the way up into now the southern mid-Atlantic region. It'll flow, it'll extend a little bit to the north and east over the next 6 to 12 hours or so. By the time we get to early Tuesday, there'll be a shower threat all the way up to New York City, beginning first early tonight across the D.C. metro region. Speaking of the lower levels, here is another way to look at the tropical moisture here. This is in the lower levels of the atmosphere, and basically the same sort of pattern here. We have a lot of tropical moisture flowing up from the Florida Straits up across the Florida Peninsula right into the Mid-Atlantic region. You kind of see a spin in the atmosphere right here over the deep south, and that is where we have a strong, very slow-moving upper level low, and we've had this omega blocking type of pattern here over the past couple of weeks here with these very slow moving upper level lows, and if you're underneath, you can get an extended period of rainfall, and that is indeed another system headed for the Mid-Atlantic region for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, occasional showers and thunderstorms. Well, here's a look at the latest radar from WSI's Intellicast, weatherunderground.com, and let's get this in motion here, and we can see rain, drenching rain across the Florida Peninsula and riding up across the Carolinas, now entering the southern part of Virginia. This will continue to expand slowly to the north and east. While we have that deep upper level low over the deep south right now, we have a strong upper level region over the southeastern part of Canada, and that is combining with that upper level low to cause slow movement in this moisture field. And again, it'll be a kind of a slow push reaching the DC metro area late afternoon, early evening, then maybe late evening into the early overnight hours in the Philly metro area, and by early tomorrow up across New York City. And again, once that rain threat arrives, looks like the threat of rain will continue all the way through about Thursday of this week from that upper level low. Then we have to deal with a cold frontal system from later Friday into Saturday. So you indeed have rain in the forecast in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday as well. Certainly not a constant rain, but a threat of showers and even thunderstorms pretty much any time from Tuesday into the upcoming weekend. Well, let's take a look at the 500 millibar height anomaly forecast maps from last night's 0Z run of the GFS. And here we go with this deep upper level low at midday on Monday here, centered over the lower Mississippi Valley region. It really has been sitting and spinning over that area over the past few days, and it will slowly make a move to the north and east over the next couple of days. Notice we have this strong upper level ridging over the southeastern part of Canada. That is kind of preventing, slowing down the movement of this upper level system, and it basically will move to the north and east and kind of slowly dissipate over the next few days. But meantime, we have this tropical moisture plume just riding up along the Atlantic seaboard, causing some soaking rainfall today across the Florida peninsula, where, by the way, they desperately need it. It's been exceptionally dry over Florida during the past several months, and the rain is falling right now all the way into the southern part of Virginia. Again, it'll expand north and east slowly over the next 6 to 12 hours or so. First D.C., then Philadelphia, then New York City. Now, let's move forward in time here. And again, I mentioned this system will kind of move to the north and east slowly and dissipate over the next few days, but it'll be certainly strong enough to help contribute to a soaking rainfall here over the next few days. Here we are by Wednesday morning, midweek, and here's when it begins to kind of dissipate here. Again, very strong upper level ridge sitting over the southeastern part of Canada. That system finally opens up and moves on out. But notice here, later in the week, we have this next upper level low moving towards the Great Lakes, and from there it'll kind of set off the movement of a couple of cold frontal systems toward the mid-Atlantic region. Really, in that period from later Friday into Saturday, we may have a couple different cold frontal systems to deal with, and again, they'll be moving from the Great Lakes in this fashion to the south and east late week, early part of the upcoming weekend, and that will help to renew the threat of showers in the mid-Atlantic region. Maybe a brief break, kind of a lull in the activity in the mid-Atlantic region between this slow-moving upper-level system and the frontal systems we'll have to deal with in that Friday, Saturday time frame. Let's move a little bit farther ahead in time, and here we go. That upper-level low ends up over New England by the latter part of the upcoming weekend. We're talking Sunday time frame here, and we move forward into the early part of next week. That finally exits, and we have yet another impressive, vigorous upper-level low by a week from right now, next Monday, moving into the western states. So this active weather pattern looks like it'll certainly continue right through the month of May. Now let's take a look at the surface forecast maps, again using the 0Z run of the GFS. And again, we have this moisture field pushing some tropical moisture all the way from the Caribbean, the southeastern Gulf, up across Florida into the Carolinas right now, and soon that will enter the mid-Atlantic region here. And again, we have this upper level low situated right here, and there's a surface low as well here, just kind of rotating around here over the next couple of days here. So let's move forward in time, and the rain reaches D.C. and Philadelphia by later tonight, and then New York City by early tomorrow. This is the early evening forecast map from Tuesday, and rain has overspread the entire mid-Atlantic region and really continues all the way down to the Carolinas through the day on Tuesday. And then we get into Wednesday, and it appears that it's exiting here, but it's still an unstable atmosphere, and we'll have that threat of showers, maybe an occasional thunderstorm right through the day on Thursday. Finally, that tends to move away or weaken a little bit by the time we get to Thursday night and Friday. But then we have, by Friday morning, to look upstream for cold frontal systems. And we have this strong surface low right in this area over the Great Lakes. And it'll really send a couple different fronts from the northwest to the southeast from later Friday into the day on Saturday. One other thing I want to point out with this late weekend system, it may have a lot more warmth to deal with. High temperatures perhaps well up in the 80s, places like DC, Philadelphia, New York City, Friday, Saturday time frame, and that'll make for the possibility of a more unstable atmosphere, more of a possibility of severe thunderstorms with that late week and weekend system compared to this next few days, the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday system here. So here's the forecast map for early Friday. Then we go into the day on Saturday, and again, a very active weather pattern here. So we have one front to deal with on Friday, and then another one on Saturday. By the way, notice, still cold enough for snow or ice up across south central Canada. Here we are now entering the second half of May by Saturday here. This is a Saturday morning forecast map. Still that threat of showers. So again, places like D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, we'll have showers in the forecast Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday as well. We get into the day on Sunday, and not quite out of the woods yet, because another weak system will be at least moving into the southern part of the Mid-Atlantic region. Here we go all the way out a week from right now to the early part of next Monday, May the 19th. And look at that, still cold enough for snow up across portions of Montana, even northwestern North Dakota, all the way down to the Rocky Mountain states. There's a much colder than normal air mass here at this time a week from now. That does spread to the east on this ongoing active weather pattern with the continuation of some cold air outbreaks. So more significant dent in the drought conditions across the eastern U.S. over the next several days. Today, places like Florida receiving some drenching rainfall all the way up to the Carolinas. That spreads to the north and east. And Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday look quite unsettled in the Mid-Atlantic region with those occasional showers and isolated thunderstorms as well. And then another couple of fronts will produce some more showers and perhaps some strong thunderstorms later Friday, Saturday in the Mid-Atlantic region. So a lot going on here. That's it for now. For ArcfieldWeather.com, this has been meteorologist Paul Dorian.